All right, what is going on, everyone? My name is Tori, and this is the Kingdom Digital Run Club, your run club away from the pack. All right, that's kind of funky. I can hear myself reverberating back to my ears. So, what we're going to do today is kind of intro you into what this digital run club is actually about and who this run club is for. And we'll get into a couple of things as we go on throughout the stream. Feel free to tap into the chat, say anything. One, if you have any questions, let us know where you're at, where you're training from, or if anything piques your interest while we're talking, feel free to chime in. There we go. I had a double. All right. So who I am. My name is Tori. I am 36 years old, married, father of four. I am a Air Force vet. I've been in about 16 years, coming up on 17 years. I've been all over the place. I started out in Oklahoma. Then I moved to Nebraska, Guam, Japan, back to Oklahoma, and now we're looking at moving into Germany. So that's why y'all see this green screen behind me right now. It's kind of a mess. We're moving stuff in the house. Everything's getting boxed up. So it's kind of crazy lately out here, man. But me as a runner, I started out as a basketball player in high school, sprinting, doing short distances and stuff like that. Once I joined the military, we had the physical fitness, and it was every morning waking up at basic training or every other morning going on a run. I had no idea how far we were going. All I knew is I could not run. They separated us into groups. You had like A through, I want to say like E or F. So like A is of course the fastest group, and you're doing what's called an Indian run the entire time. So you got to stay with that pack. And if you fall off, you would try to like sneak back into like the B pack, the C pack, or something like that, and hope you didn't get seen because they send you right back up there to where you were at. And it was rough. It was rough, but I finally got out of that, went to Altus, started looking at different jobs and stuff. And man, I had to start running for the job that I wanted. I wanted to be a TAC P. So I had a friend, he washed out from Sear. I believe he's a load master now, going to go be an officer. Took me out. Was like, hey, I'm going to teach you how to run. I was running on the heels of my feet, like heel striking, feet were tore up, shin splints. I was wearing like baggy shorts past my knees, big old t-shirt stuff. He's like, nah, that's not going to cut it. We got some running shorts, we got some running shoes. I went through different stuff. So we would like try like the minimalist running shoes because I thought I needed to be quick, and that was the only way to be quick. To now we're in like we went to max cushion, we went to carbon plated shoes, and now we're back down to regular shoes. So that's a little bit the background from there. We went to Nebraska, and that's where I kind of got in obstacle course races. So I've done almost any kind of race you could think. I've done trail runs, I've done regular races, I've done obstacle races. The first one was 5K the hard way out in Gretna. Super fun, super muddy. Every race that I went to while I was in Nebraska, I saw the same exact people there. It was like these five shirtless dudes, super buff, black shorts, black shoes, black hats, and they destroyed me every single race. No matter how hard I tried, bro, I could not get past them. It was insane, but it was fun. It was fun though, so I can't complain too much, y'all. From there, I don't think I did any full like on races there, like no regular 10Ks, 5Ks, stuff like that. But then eventually we switched over and went to Guam, and I started doing runs kind of in the morning. When I wake up like Saturday morning, we lived on base, so it was beautiful running over to the outlook because you could see over to a whole separate island. You could look down and see the beach. Or my favorite run, I started my house in the dark, and it was about 5.5, maybe 6, 7 miles, run down to the beach there. There were pigs, all types of stuff. You'd hear them like next to you as you're running down. It was kind of freaky, man. Kind of freaky, but it was fun. I would finish my run at like 6:30 in the morning. I tell my wife, hey, can you come pick me up down here? I need to ride back up the hill because I'm not going back up that hill, bro. We did a 9/11 ruck march out there as well. That was super fun. And then we got to Japan. Japan, same thing. We started doing a every Friday. My unit, a couple people from my unit, we go just run. We go do like a 5K, and that's where I kind of got into the whole run club aspect of it. It's not really about the distance, the pace. It's more about the community, being around other people, enjoying what you're doing, and then kind of learning more about them, learning more about yourself as you go. And it was super fun. It was super fun. And while I was there, I started just signing up for random races, like kind of virtual half marathons here, virtual half marathons there, a couple 10Ks, stuff like that. We did St. Jude, the A6 Icodin. I'd never heard of it before. That was the first time I did it. We did it virtually. It just put me in a group with like 5 random runners, and we all were responsible for so many miles. I can't remember what it was, but me and one other guy pretty much carried this entire team. Nobody else on our team ran. So me and this dude were messaging each other like, bro, I need you to do at least 6. I got the other 8. And then it was like, okay, I got that. We'll do the 8 here. We'll do the 10 here. And man, it was wild. It was super fun. It was super fun. Don't get me wrong. But the fact that my team was not existent pretty much was crazy. It was crazy. And then we linked up with a local Japanese running club, and they took us on a run through the woods, and it was super fun. T-Bird said, "Oh man, I hate group projects." What do you mean? Group runs are super fun, man. But yeah, that one it was interesting because it's kind of like you said, it was a group project, kind of like school. Is we're all responsible for our own little section, and they just kind of blew it off. I don't know if they forgot, they just weren't logging their miles or what, but they weren't answering the message or anything like that. So me and the other guy, since we're already running every day, we just took it upon ourselves, like, why not just knock it out? And that's what we did. Me and him had a blast. I don't know what the other people did, but we really enjoyed it. But yeah, but the Japanese run club, they took us up in a mountain, and the leader, or I guess the head runner, maybe, he was maybe 5'5", 5'4", probably late 50s, early 60s. This man dusted me, y'all. Like, I was trying to keep up with him the entire time. We didn't stop once, and we ran about a 10K, but for me at the time, it was super fast, especially through some random trail and woods. And the only reason that I kept up that entire time is the pure determination of not to get lost on these trails. I had no idea where I was, because we were supposed to finish and go back to the clubhouse where they had some food prep for us and drinks. And I was like, man, if I lose this little dude, I'm stuck on a mountainside in Japan. So that wasn't an option. So I sped up. I stayed with him. He's like, "Oh, you're so fast." I was like, "No, I was just scared, bro." That was it. I was scared. Simple as that. But it was a great time. But yeah, we started getting into more runs there, and then eventually we got sent right back here to Oklahoma. This time in Oklahoma City. I started running, finding kind of like places around the neighborhood just to do, and then I found Lake Hefner. That has been my gem, my pearl, whatever you want to call it. It's about a 9.31 mile loop around. So you can do it as many times as you want. But I know when I first got here, my goal was like, I'm going to loop Lake Hefner at least once. At least once. It had been maybe a year or two since I ran a half marathon or anything like that. So I knew I was like kind of restarting and building back up. And for a while, it was rough. Now I go out to Hefner and I look at it like, I can keep going. I finally found my stride, figured out how to run, and fell back in love with it. We did the Oklahoma City Run to Remember half marathon last year. Beautiful event. If you haven't done it and you have a chance to come out to Oklahoma, I highly, highly recommend it. Then we followed that up with the Tulsa Route 66 half marathon as well. So I went from running a 2-hour, 27-minute half marathon in Oklahoma City in April of last year to running a 2-hour and 2-minute half marathon in Tulsa the same year, that November. So a couple months difference, but you just be surprised at how much your body remembers and progresses if you let it. If you let it. Just so comfortable. The views of the whole run were amazing. I would highly recommend anybody out here, if you get a chance, to do both. I wish I had the medals with me there at work. I actually need to bring them home so I can box them up. So next stream, I'll kind of run y'all through some of the different medals that we got over the years. Super cool. It was a whale. I got 2 of them, and then they gave you an extra medal called the Oklahoma Standard Medal. And what that was for is if you completed the Oklahoma City half marathon and the Tulsa Route 66 half marathon in the same year, you get the Oklahoma Standard Medal. So I was reminding people as they were finishing, like, hey, make sure you go get your medal. Make sure you go get your medal. And then I started my TikTok sometime this year. I want to say it was after the Oklahoma City Marathon. And what spawned that is I wanted to hold myself more accountable for my running while also finding myself a running community. With me moving so much and so frequently, it's hard to find those run clubs, make those connections, relationships, and keep those lasting, just because I'm in and out so much. And that's kind of what this platform is for. This is your digital run club. This is for you to come by, talk, speak with us, share your wins, victories, losses, anything exciting that you have going on, or stuff that you might need help with working through. That's kind of what this is for. We want this to be the vibe of, hey, we're kind of running along together, and you're not in this alone, man. Tibor said, got to get you a metal wall. I do need to get a metal wall. I really want one. So I'm hoping when we go to Germany, I can get a room to myself. We'd have to get like a 6-bedroom house. I don't know if that's going to be possible. If I get a 6-bedroom house and then kind of turn this background here into kind of like my metal wall, maybe some of my running shoes and stuff like that. But I do need to get more running shoes. So if you want to speak that into existence, I'm saying go ahead. I'm not going to stop you at all. So now that we've covered who I am and what this running club is going to be about, I'm going to start sharing last week. It was hectic. In fact, the last 2 weeks in general, man. So here in Oklahoma, the weather is so sporadic. Sometimes you don't know what to expect. Like last winter, we were getting tornadoes in like December. This year, knock on wood, luckily we haven't gotten anything. But man, it snowed hard, and it was deep snow for here, especially for here. Like my neighborhood, they did not plow the neighborhood at all. I could not get out and run for about 5 to 6 days. It was just so deep, and I don't have a treadmill, so I'm already getting anxious, and all that. Then 2 of my kids got sick, and then 2 more got sick, so everybody ended up sick. And then once they started feeling better, it got passed to me and the wife. So then me and the wife were sitting here sick as well. She's taking care of the kids because I'm sick more than she was at the time. And man, it was rough. I couldn't get out of bed. All I wanted to do the whole time was just go run. Even now, like you might be able to hear a little congested, but we're still outside and we're still running, which I had a blast doing. We just got our first official run back in today. Today we did a 5K just around the neighborhood in about 28 minutes. I believe it was like a 9:19-ish average per mile. With my new job that I'm headed to, I might have to go to Army Airborne School. And I believe their entry requirement passing the graduation, I'm not sure what it is, but they have a 3-mile requirement at 9 minutes per mile. So I'm trying to work on that and see how that goes. Hopefully, we can hit the mark. I think I'm like kind of just right there. But with me not having ran in a while, I really want to get back to that. I want to get my numbers down. I want to get comfortable again, going short distances and long distances first, and then kind of start working on some of that speed work. I'm going to have some TDYs coming up as well. So we're going to have to try to work and figure out when I go to New Jersey for a few weeks, where am I going to run while I'm out there? Am I going to have time to run? I'm going to have to fit it in somehow. And then when I go down to San Antonio for a week, same thing. I got to figure out where these runs are going to get fit in at, especially not knowing the area like that. I'm just going to have to run around the base, wake up super early, and hopefully not drain myself with the training that I'm going to have to do that day as well. All right. So we got who I am, the club. We've talked about last week's breakdown of the snow, the sick people. We were on a podcast for the first time ever, and that was super, super amazing. Thank you to the whole team at the Oklahoma City Run to Remember. I reached out to them and they reached out back. They were really interested in my story. So we did a 300-mile challenge. That's how we kind of led into the Oklahoma City Run to Remember marathon, a half marathon, pardon me. And then we started a 500-mile challenge. That was going to lead us into the Oklahoma City Marathon coming up for 2026. That's still going on. We did have one person complete it so far over on Strava. We have another person over on Nike that's maybe 20 miles or so, maybe even less away from finishing it. So people are doing it, and it's been amazing to see all the miles that everybody's been putting in. Y'all are crushing me. I think I'm only at like maybe 100 miles or so in the actual challenge itself, which I feel terrible about. But we're hoping to start opening our miles pretty soon this week. So we'll see how that goes. But since I got y'all here, let's go over some of the new running items that we've picked up recently, right before the break or during this break. So the first thing is going to be these gloves by Bandit. Now, I bought these because it was still cold outside, but now I feel kind of foolish buying them because it's like, it's 59 degrees outside right now. And I think next week is supposed to be like 70 degrees. So it's getting hotter. And I just bought these gloves and I've used them maybe 2 times. So the main reason I got these is they were supposed to be warm. They're merino wool. They have the touch pads here for your fingers. Of course, reflective 3M. They do have the clips, you can clip them together, but this was the main reason right here. I saw this and I went crazy. Now, this is a opening for your watch. It is on both gloves, regardless. So you can use it for either hand. So with it being cold outside, I was so tired of pushing my old gloves up so that way I could see what my watch had going on. So as you'll see there, it's nice, man. It keeps your whole hand warm, and it does have these as well. So if case for any reason the pads aren't working for your fingers, you can take those off and start using your phone like that as well. These were pretty cool, pretty cool. There's another brand that I saw recently. They have gloves kind of similar to this. They just don't have the cutouts on the hand. If it was going to be cold longer, I might pick those up. But since it's kind of starting to warm up, I don't really see a point in it yet. So maybe if the weather makes a turn again. Now, this is my second pair of these gloves. I'm going to throw that out there. So when I first got these, loved them. I only used them maybe once. I don't know what happened, but right here on this finger, I got a hole in it. I don't know what caused the hole, where it came from, but I hit up Bandit, and I've heard some people say like, oh, their customer service is bad or their shipping is bad. That is not the case. So for me, I messaged them. They messaged me back that same day. I was like, hey, I got a hole in these gloves. I just bought them. They actually charged me less for the gloves anyway. So they're supposed to be like $45. I think I paid like 35, 38, something like that. And anyway, let them know like, hey, I got a hole in the gloves. They didn't live up to the standard of y'all. So can y'all exchange these out? That same day, they sent me the shipping label on my email, and they already had boxed up and sent me another pair that day. They arrived in like maybe 2 or 3 days time. So they got here super fast. I sent mine back. They paid for the shipping return as well. So it was really easy, bro. Really easy. So yeah, these are my second pair of these. If you're looking for some gloves, these are really good. Cold weather, no layering on them. Perfectly fine. Now, these are my current running shoes. I got 200 miles in these shoes, man, right? So usually with my running shoes, they usually last about 300 miles or so before they start going bad. Now, these Evo SLs, this is my first shoe that I've raced in that was not a plated shoe, and I have loved every minute of running in these. You can see I beat them up pretty good. The only things I've started to notice at 200 miles today is this edge here is kind of tearing away the foam and kind of rocking off to the side. A lot of abrasion in the center of the heel. Same on this one. Y'all see that? A lot of abrasion on that shoe. And then evidently when I run, this right foot right here, it looks like it tears. I'm tearing into myself here. I don't know how I keep doing it or why I keep doing it, but see if y'all can see that. Do you see that missing chunk of foam right there? That's crazy, right? I'm tearing my own foot up somehow. I don't know how I'm doing that, but stuff like that, it helps me see how to kind of fix my stride. And that's why I love this shoe. I can fix my stride based on the foam, the patterns that I see on it, but it's also super lightweight. I got this shoe not when it came out. I'm not going to say that, but maybe a couple months afterward. And the thing I love about them, I look for shoe deals before I buy a shoe. So these right now are $150. I paid $72 for my pair when I got them. Reason being, I checked on GOAT. GOAT is a great app, in my opinion, for shoes, especially for running shoes. Sometimes people kind of overprice their stuff on there, but for these, the Evo SLs, you can usually find them for retail or just under retail. Once I see it go under retail, I'm all for it. And speaking of that, I saw something go under retail, y'all. I got an unboxing. This right here. This is going to be our running shoe when we get done with these. So I don't want to ruin it for you, but you already heard me say I really enjoy the Evo SL. There was one color that I really, really wanted originally, and I could never find it in my size. So for reference, I'm a size 12 in all of my shoes, including my running shoes. I wear them all true to size. Now, this, I saw they were on sale recently on Adidas. They still have the sale going on. Some running shoes are up to 30% off. So they have like the Boston 12s, the Evo SLs, the Supernova Rises, Energies, I believe, are on there as well. Even the Adios Pro 4s on sale. That shoe was $250. I saw one a little bit ago on the website for $150 for a marathon shoe, which is not bad. I haven't used the Audio Pro 4s, but we have these, bro, and I'm super excited. And they are, of course, another pair of Evo SLs. I was kind of going back and forth whether I wanted the Super Blast 2s or these, but I just love the quick feeling that I get when I'm in these, and it's my favorite colorway. It's my favorite, bro. This is the Lucid Lemon. I've been looking everywhere for this pair. I love bright colors, so these fit perfectly. Like usually all my running clothes are just plain black, but I love my shoes to have a pop to them, right? So this is going to be my pop of color. Think about writing something, Kingdom Run Club, KDRC on the side or something like that. But I can't wait to get into these. But again, I'm not using them quite yet. I bought them kind of as a head thing to keep me motivated for the future. Once the white pair is done for completely, we're going to switch over to the Lucid Lemons. But we already have them on hand now, so it'll be a quick, easy swap out. Again, this pair, man, has been dodging me for so long. I've tried every running store around me. I went to my local Dick's Sporting Goods. They didn't have them in my size specifically. When I went to those are nice. Thank you, dude. You got to get you a pair. Like these popped up on the Adidas website. The day I was going to Cadam when I was shooting the M4, these happened to pop up on the app, and I logged in. I was like, oh, let me go check and see what's going on. And I was looking at them the week prior. The week prior, they were 20% off, right? And then the week I was at Cadam, that's when the 30% off on Adidas sales started. So normally $150, I paid $105, $118 shipped for these. They only had 2 pair in my size in this colorway. So as soon as I saw it, it was a go. I had to buy it. I knew the price wasn't going to get any better than that, especially for this colorway. This is one of the, in my opinion, for me, this is one of the more harder to find colorways. So I can't wait to put these on. I'm looking for some socks that match these. So if y'all know of any brand that has some socks that are really close to this colorway, let me know. I love neon color stuff. I love the bright color stuff, man. If I'm not wearing all black, I'm wearing something bright neon. We do have one more thing I want to show y'all. So this is a Aero Grid kind of pullover shirt that I got from Deadlast. So it has reflective on the front, reflective hits on the sleeve, and then this big reflective hit on the back. Now, for me, I'm a morning runner, so usually 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning, sometime in that range, I've already started my run. And it's super dark out here in the morning, so having just a little bit of extra reflectivity is very, very key for me, because other than that, I just have this little light here. Now, this light is bright. It's super strong. I got off Amazon for like $8-9, but just having that extra constant reflectivity on my entire body for me was a huge, huge win. I think this was, I want to say like $72. It was in their winter collection, which is almost sold out. Actually, they're completely sold out of these Aero Grid pullovers. It's really nice. It's super lightweight, but it'll keep you warm. So if I had a light, you'd be able to actually see through the lines in the material. And so it's not like it's a super heavy, thick thermal base, but it is something that'll keep you warm if you have like a compression shirt underneath. Today I ran in this. It was about 50 degrees, but it was super windy. I had a short sleeve Noble t-shirt on with this, and it was perfect. I really hope they restock this before the spring collection drops, because I want to get a white one as well, and maybe a bigger size in this. This is a medium. I believe it's 27 inches long and 21 inches across. It fits me perfectly, no issues. I just want another one to wear around. Simple as that. I'd get a white one or a black one, and I'd wear it around, and then I'd have another one for running. Super easy to wash. I just did it today after my run. Throw it in the washer and just hang dry it, and it's right back. It didn't shrink or anything like that. It's still pretty flowy. Like I said, it's a super soft texture on the outside. So if you're looking for a base layer shirt, if they happen to restock these Deadlast Run, go check out their website. I really, really like their stuff. I got some other stuff I want to check out from them. Just hasn't released yet. T-Bird said, that shirt is dope too. Send me one. I mean, you buy me one and I'll send you one. How about we do that? Plus, I don't think they got your size. I know you're taller than me. But yeah, this was a medium that I bought, and it fits really well, really well. But yeah, once they restock them, I'm gonna keep an eye out. I'll be sure to like kind of post it and let y'all know when that restocks. They do have some perforated shirts. They have a long sleeve. The long sleeve is kind of in that neon color that the shoes are in, so I'm kind of eyeing that. But with it getting warmer, I don't really know if it's a purpose in buying it quite yet. And then they have a short sleeve shirt. My only qualm with the short sleeve shirt is when I run, I like my shirts to be kind of tight to my body. You know what I mean? But I like a sleeve that kind of stops here around the tricep area. From the pictures on their website, it looks like their sleeve is looser and it kind of stops like just above the elbow. So if you have the shirt, let me know. I'd love to see the fit of it overall, like kind of where the sleeves hang, how wide it is on the body, and they have a stringer too that looks really nice. The stringer would be great for race day, so that might be something I check out. And I'm looking for some summer half tights in the winter. I don't wear sweatpants. I know some runners are like kind of up in the air. They're between the two. You're either wearing running tights or you're wearing sweatpants. I'm team running tights all day. I like to feel like I'm as minimally clothed as possible when I run. Everything's tight to the body. If I have anything loose on, I feel like I'm getting dragged from the air and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's a thought thing. I know it might not be true depending on how form fitting your stuff is, but it's just me. It's just me. T-Bar said, I'm a large and husky. You can fit a large, bro. You can fit a large, maybe extra large. I think I'm gonna go up. If I get another one, I'm either gonna go up to a large. If I get one just to wear around, it's just like kind of a warm weather, chilly day kind of thing. I'll probably get an extra large just so it's a little bit more baggy. What would be nice is if they put the watch cut on those sleeves, but they would have to do it to where the cut is overlaid. So if this is the bottom layer, that bottom layer would stop here, but the overcut would have to go over top of that bottom cut. So like overlap it, and then you have to pull that back and then set the watch in there that way. That way that cold air doesn't get in there and it doesn't kind of like mess with your hands as you're running. All right, so that was the stuff. I think that was all the unboxing and review we had. So open chat. If y'all have anything kind of as T-Bird's been doing this entire time, feel free to share. If you have any races coming up, if you're training for anything, if you want to get start running and you have any questions on how to start running, feel free to drop those in there at any time. For me, my next race was supposed to be the Oklahoma City Run to Remember Marathon. Kind of in jeopardy at the moment. I'm still hoping that I'll be able to go, but with some of the training that I have coming up due to the move to Germany, it's looking like the dates may overlap. So it might be a flight in and a flight out same day. I don't know. I'm still trying to work that and figure that out. But I know there's a couple races coming up. There's a puppy love race on the 22nd. Done by Red Coyote, where they're going to be bringing some puppies from like I think the local. I don't want to say pound, local ASPCA or something like that. Anyway, they're bringing dogs in and it's puppy friendly, so you can go play and hang around with the dogs. There's a bunch of St. Patty's Day runs coming up. We might look into doing. I know there was a couple races this weekend, the Mesa Marathon and a couple other marathons that popped off. One of my friends, Big Slick, he completed the half marathon. It was his first one, so shout out to you for that race, man. I know that you're still excited and happy about it, so great job on that finish. T-Bird, I do not run, and when I do, I hate it. See, I used to be the same, T-Bird. So for me, running was, it was painful. I didn't know how to run, and I wasn't running because I wanted to run. I was running because other people were telling me to run, and that's what made me hate it. It wasn't enjoyable. Once I learned how to run the correct way, I learned how to control my breath and kind of how to zone out. It became one of my favorite things. So like, you remember Five Ash Dylan? He was the one that helped me learn how to run. I would run with music all the time. Now it's to the point I can run with no music at all. I can run with just a podcast going on. I actually prefer running no music or a podcast than I do running with music on. So the last half marathon where I PR'd at, I didn't even bring my earbuds. I did not have my earbuds in the entire time. I was just running, and it was great. Sometimes just hearing people on like the sidelines cheering, chanting, reading the signs, and being rooted into the environment that you're in will take your mind off of what you're doing so much. And to me, it's more of a mental health clearing kind of thing. Like it's my soul time that I have to kind of decompress and just go enjoy what I'm doing. thinking about what I have going on, what do I want to do today, what I have coming up on the future, what's the best ways to go about it. So a lot of people, their fitness and even the gym, like going to lift weights, it's more of a decompression for some people that just turns into a habit that we end up repeating over and over and over. And once we learn how to do it and get better at it, especially if we involve other people, to me, that's the biggest point. I love running, and for me, I'm more of an introvert. So doing stuff like this right now is easy because I'm just talking to a camera. But if it was a room full of people, it'd be a little bit harder for me. Like my social battery would probably drain out pretty quickly, but it's something that I enjoy doing. If we're talking running, I can talk running all day, all day. Different running brands, shoes, strides. People want to talk about workouts, races, stuff like that. I love hearing all of it. So yeah, running for me is super fun. Running with no music sounds crazy. It did for me too. But the more that you kind of get used to it, I think it, let me start again. It comes in stages, right? So when I first started running, it was I needed to have the music to kind of distract myself from what I was doing. Then the music just became an additive. But then I noticed that depending on the beats per minute of the song, I would not self-conscious, subconsciously start picking up my speed and slowing down my speed based on the BPMs of the song, which is not what I wanted to do. I want to be able to remain consistent with my stride and my pacing as I'm going. With knowing that, I was like, okay, let's see if I switch to a podcast. And then for me, the podcasts were great because I'm just listening to the stories and I'm not paying attention to how fast I'm running, which means that I'm more consistent in my pace and my stride and my speed while I'm going. And if the podcast is like an hour long, I'm like, I really want to listen to the podcast. So I'm more likely to keep running to finish out a podcast than I am to keep running to switch out a song, especially because the songs being so short. A lot of people's like, oh man, I've listened to 5 songs already. I'm still on the same podcast that I was 20 minutes ago. So I'm good. I'm good. And then from the podcast, I was running the Tulsa Half Marathon Award. And I was like, bro, are you taking your headphones? Are you listening to music? I don't think he was. I think he left his in his room. And I was like, all right, cool. You know what? I'm not going to run with any music either. I'm just going to go out and run it and enjoy. And to me, I was nervous to do it, but it was one of the best decisions I ever made. It was so much fun. I was like kind of saying hi, like waving at people. You hear the people on the sidelines cheering for you. I'm like passing the running groups. I was more ingrained into what was going on around me and actually entrenched in the run itself more than being focused on running the race, if that makes sense. So I'm more focused on the environment and space that I'm in versus the activity that I was doing. And once I was able to make that switch, that's what really flipped the light bulb on me. Like, okay, I can keep this going. And once I hit that pace and that stride, it just continued. I did hit a hill. I hit a hill on the Tulsa Route 66 marathon at mile marker. I believe it was 11, between 11 and 12. There's a gigantic hill. That was the only time I thought I'm not going to make it or I got to stop or something, man. It was ridiculous. There was a kid. There was a kid. He was behind me somewhere. He ran the entire half marathon without shoes on. It was cold outside and his feet were just slapping the pavement as he was going. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine doing that. And evidently he does it all the time. He runs long races all the time, just barefoot. Look him up. It's a kid in Tulsa. I can't remember his name, but he runs races barefoot, man. It's insane. Need that 180 BPM play. No, you're crushing yourself. You're crushing yourself. Like I created an entire run playlist before, right? I do not listen to that playlist anymore at all. I created a new separate playlist. The tones and the BPMs, everything about that playlist is different. It's not made with songs to make you hype or anything like that, get you excited. Nothing. It's more just like kind of listening music. It's not like super calm and dreary or anything like that. It's like really middle ground rate music, but it's amazing. It's amazing. It's the only playlist I listen to if I'm going to listen to music when I run. I will put it on here somehow if I can figure out how to drop it into the comments or something. I have it on Apple Music that I transferred over, and I have it on Spotify as well. So if you're interested in it, let me know. Like I said, it's not even music that I personally normally would have listened to previously, but now with running, I'm very intentful in what I allow into my ears when I run. because I know it's going to affect me in the long run. If I listen to a hype song at the beginning, I'm going to be gassed before I need to be. And same thing at the end, you can probably throw a hype song in there, but it's not needed because you're going to start striding out and your body's already tired. You don't realize it. You start sprinting and you're done for. And you're done for. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Man, we got to find some more races this year. Once I get to Germany, I'm going to try to find some more races. My ultimate goal once I get to Germany is twofold. Find a running club, a running group, I guess threefold, to start finding areas to run with or find areas to run at while I'm there. Number two, we're going to keep this live stream going because I really enjoy it. I might not have stuff to open all the time, but I feel like the more people that come in, talk, communicate is going to be really fun. Like I said, not everybody is open to running with people. They don't feel comfortable in the run club settings, or they just don't have the ability to run with a run club, whether it be their location, the time of day that the clubs are running, stuff like that. So something like this might give them the opportunity to share their running journey with people. And so I know for me, that's something that's huge. I love to run, but I love to be able to share it with people. So that's what this platform is really for. And it's for y'all to do the same as well. And then threefold, I want to run hopefully, Berlin Marathon, not for 2026, but 2027 is my goal, because I believe they do it in like October-ish, which I think would be for me personally, it'd be a huge accomplishment. And I think it'd be really fun to say I ran a world major marathon overseas somewhere else. So that's my goal for next year. But for this year is to prep myself, is to get up to that point to where I know I feel comfortable to finish that full marathon in October in Berlin. I can't wait. All right. So what are we looking forward to next week? I'm looking forward to getting back into the full swing of my running. Now, I'm going to be super busy. I got painters coming. We got movers coming. We're selling the house, selling the car, training I'm going to. But my goal ultimately is to still keep running, hopefully daily, or at least 5 times a week, whether that's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday, Saturday off, and then do my long runs on Sunday. Long runs are always going to have to be on the weekend just because my morning time is compressed. But staying consistent as we have been before, and then hopefully upping those miles while also working on some speed. So it's really multifaceted, but I believe it first starts with the consistency. Get the consistency down, then you start adding in components to that from there to get better. And that's our primary goal, is where we're going to start. We're going to start picking our days, being more consistent. We're going to start being intentful with our rest, because I was bad at that before, not listening to my body. I think that led to me to some complications of delaying getting back out there to running as well. And so consistency, rest, intentful speed, and then distance. And that's our goal. That's our goal for next week, and to keep posting as well, and to get ready and prep for our next stream and hopefully grow this channel. I'm going to go out this week. I'm trying to start seeding now, like, hey, come join our digital run club. Come talk with us. Come talk with us on Sundays, because I think it's fun. I've enjoyed it, and I hope y'all have enjoyed it as well. One thing I did want to end on is the misconception of running and run influencers, I guess. I don't consider myself a running influencer. I just consider myself a runner. Simple as that. I'm just a runner that enjoys sharing their running. Now, the misconception that I wanted to address is that people think that you have to be a certain speed runner. You have to look a certain way, have certain brand sponsorships. And I don't think any of that is true. If you want to share your runs and where you're at, I think you should do it. There are some gatekeepers in running. Oh, why don't you do this? Like, I posted a short one time on another page, and I was kind of fluctuating my mile times. I was running between like a 9:30 up to like a 10:30. I don't know what was going on that day, but I was just learning how to break into the nines. That was my first time, like, kind of breaking into the nines during a run for myself. And they were like, well, why don't you just run a sub 10 every mile? I simply put, I couldn't do it at the time. I couldn't figure out how to do it while I was even in Japan up until recently, this kind of late last year. I wasn't able to break through a 10-mile or a 10-minute mile. I don't know what it was. That was just my comfortable thing. Like, hey, I'm at a 10-minute mile. That's what I'm going at. Now I can do closer to an 8, but I can't do an 8. I can do like a 9:15 to a 9:50. That's kind of my range. But again, the misconception is that you have to run a certain speed or look a certain way to be a run influencer, and you do not. As long as you are out there trying, you're putting in your work, you're running, you're respecting running for what it is, then I think that you should be able to share and say what you want regarding running. Um, like when I was first looking at marathons, I was very intimidated to try to sign up for a marathon because I'm the times that I'm seeing on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and stuff like that. People's like, "Oh, I'm running a sub 3. I'm running a 220 mile." These are elite. These are elite times for like the 220s and lower, right? But as somebody that knows nothing about marathons, I'm thinking, my goodness, there's no way I can ever do a marathon. These people are running a marathon at the same time that I'm running a half marathon. But then I kind of changed my aspect of my kind of changed my algorithm a little bit of what I was searching for. And I found that most people are running at my pace. And there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to be an elite runner to share your running story. You have to be prideful of your running. You have to be aware of where you're at with your running journey and acknowledge that and accept it. Like, hey, I just started. This is where I'm at. This is what my run is, but this is what my goal is. Or if you just do it in your pastime, hey, I'm just a part-time runner like me. I'm an average runner. I like to run. I run frequently. Do I run more than some people? Yes. Do I run less than some people? Yes. But I know that. And I've accepted that, and I have no problem with it. I know who I am, and I know what my running goals are, and I'm hitting those, and that's all that matters to me. That's all that matters. But I will get ready to end the stream here, and what I want to leave y'all with is this thought. I want you to hold the standard, protect your crown as the kings and queens that you are, and then I will see you on the next run. I hope y'all enjoyed this stream. Make sure you like, subscribe to the page so that way you can be notified the next time we do the next live stream. If you enjoyed it, please share it with your friends so that way they can come in and join us as well. If you have any questions or anything like that, running related that you want to drop in, you can find me on TikTok, here on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I'm all over the place. Just search me up and I'll catch y'all the next one, man. Thanks. Peace.